He's the 100 reward. If you go to the battle pass and scroll to the last page, you'll see him.
Fine line and micro tattoos. This has been a huge topic of conversation in the tattoo community in the past few months. So I thought we would dive deep and go over the good, the bad, and the ugly. And by ugly, I do not mean the tattoos. So Inked magazine recently came out with a video called Think Twice Before Getting a Micro Tattoo, where they interviewed tattoo artist John Mesa, and he spoke at length about his disdain for these types of tattoos. I'll have a video link below if you want to check out the full thing, but I'm going to break down what I think are the most...
Yeah, I got the Optimus Prime that's in the item shop.
Micro tattoo artists are selling snake oil, and essentially what this means is that they're deceiving their customers. They're selling something...
Yeah, I'll say I get it every season.
That's what his point is. That a lot of the clients coming and getting micro tattoos don't know that the healing and the aging process of those tattoos are different from traditional tattooing. That's also his assumption, and he goes on with this assumption saying that tattoo artists who do micro tattoos
I like it.
to their clients.
I just don't like the fact that the way that they're doing the movies now is this one's not Optimus Prime. It's a different character and shit.
I think what John Mesa is saying in the first minute of this video is valid. He talks about his experience tattooing and seeing pigment.
That's what I was saying.
Seeing small blades.
Yeah, I was saying something about that earlier to Megan's brother.
Degradation of white ink as well. That's just his personal experience tattooing, and he's been doing this for a long time. So I do think that his points are really valid up until 1 minute. After 1 minute, he pretty quickly crosses the line, in my opinion. So let's go into it. This teardrop tattoo is the first tattoo John talked about, and this tattoo is done by Miu Lu, who is a tattoo artist based in Beijing, China, who tattoos at
she's alright.
New tattoo studio in Beijing.
I said she's been asleep for most of the day. People are coming up on me. Go, go, go.
Tattoo, but he immediately says that it's a bunch of magic tricks and photography tricks that made this image what it is. And his reasoning for that is the blurring of the background. Personally, I don't think that's enough evidence to say that this artist is photoshopping their tattoos, but I guess that's just his opinion. One thing he said about this tattoo that really bothered me is that he said that this tattoo artist had no respect for the world of tattooing, when in actuality the tattoo was done by the artist on the tattoo artist's own name.
I don't know where this dude came from.
They posted a story of them doing this to themselves. Old school tattoo artists always say that you should tattoo on yourself before you tattoo clients, so you know how it feels, you know how it ages, and you can get a better understanding of what you're doing before you do it on other people. Now, Miu is tattooing on other people, but to say that this tattoo has no respect for the world of tattooing because of the fact that it's a new style, and there's a lot of intricate detail in it, I think is really out of line, especially since they did it on themselves. Later on in the video, John talks about this tattoo.
But yeah, they brought back my favorite SMG, which is the combat, and then my favorite shotgun, which is the drum.
So I did look it up. This artist's Instagram is @FirstJames, and he does not follow this artist. I don't know why he would say that. It just makes him, in my opinion, makes him sound bad to be following someone out of hate. Maybe it was a joke, I don't know. It's not funny. He really heavily critiques this tattoo, and some of his points are valid in that he talks about how there's very light colors, so there's pinks and oranges and yellows all next to each other, and there's not a lot of contrast there. And a tattoo artist that's been tattooing for 15 years really values contrast in tattoos, and that's what they've been taught last summertime. So I do understand his point, but I think he went a little far with critiquing this tattoo. He said, and I quote, "This tattoo is disgusting, I hate it." This tattoo is not disgusting. I mean, it's really pretty, it's incredibly detailed. First Jing is a tattoo artist. I'm not sure exactly where they tattoo, it's either LA or New York. Specifically this tattoo, they mentioned that it is inspired by traditional Chinese paintings. And I think that they did an amazing job with the execution of this tattoo. And I think to say that it's disgusting is just like, it's wrong. There's some more micro tattoos that John goes over in the video. Some of them he does somewhat like.
If it says watch, if it gives you the option, it should.
In his experience, these tattoos may not hold up to the test of time because of the lack of contrast and the softness of the tattoo itself, the lack of outline, things like that. But I think you can get that point across without belittling other artists' work, especially since this is such a newer art form. And there's advancements in tattooing every single day. There's advancements in inks. There's advancements in the type of machines that people tattoo with. So the fact of the matter is that we don't have evidence of these tattoos healing over 10 years because it wasn't a huge style 10 years ago. And they didn't have the equipment and the inks and things like that.
So yeah, if it pops up and then you get into the match thing, just hit spectate.
The fact of the matter is that John doesn't really know how these tattoos are going to age over time. And to say that they're all going to turn into blobs is a little misleading, because truly there are micro tattoo artists that are doing things the right way, and they're putting their healed work out there, and I have some examples to show you guys. The first micro tattoo artist I'm going to talk about is Pony Lawson. Pony is featured on Ink Magazine's channel all the time, and he is pretty outspoken about how his tattoos do age well over time. That's because of the way he tattoos. Pony Lawson tattoos in a few different places. It seems like he tattoos in Chicago, New York City, and LA. He's also vegan, so his tattoo practices are vegan, and he's known for micro-realistic portraits. And these tattoos are not even 3 inches big. They are usually very, very small. He uses a lot of black outlines, and he has evidence of his tattoos aging really well over time. For instance, this Edward Scissorhands tattoo is really, really impressively aged 2 years later, and you can see how small it is. It doesn't even seem like it's more than 2 inches big. But that's really impressive healing for 2 years, especially for a tattoo so small. So you can see that he is doing micro tattooing in a way that works. So to say that all artists' micro tattoos are going to fail, it's a little too general. And tattooing is advancing into these new tattoo styles, and I feel like some people are really set in the traditional ways, and I don't know that that is going to be the case forever, that micro tattoos can't last. The next micro tattoo artist I want to talk about is Seoul Tattoo, and they tattoo in Seoul, South Korea. Their artwork was not in the video, but as you can see, it's really similar to a lot of things that were featured in the video. They do very fine, delicate lines, very light pastel colors, and they have an incredible amount of artistry and detail in their work. I wanted to point out this artist because they have a huge library of their healed tattoos over time, and Seoul Tattoo has the longest healed tattoos I was able to find. So here we have this kitten tattoo, and this is healed 4 years. You can see that a lot of those lines are still really nicely put in there. It looks like a very small tattoo as well. Next we have this square image of, I think it's 2 children playing, and this one's healed 3 years old, and they even zoomed in on some of the edges to show how that has healed over time. You can see that there is a little bit of bleeding, but it's not significant at all. I don't know if these have been touched up, but they do look really good. So Seoul is doing a great job. It just goes to show you that there's new techniques being used, and you can't just put a blanket statement over micro tattoos that they're not going to heal over time. John and
we got work, man.
That these artists are not communicating this to their clients, that these tattoos heal differently, and I think that that's just an assumption we can't make. I mean, you're not in any of these studios, so how do you know if they're not communicating that to their clients? Not surprisingly, there are quite a few artists that have a problem with this video by Ink Magazine with John Mesa. One of those artists is Joyce Wong, and she tattoos in New York City. I think she tattoos at her own studio. I think she used to work at Bang Bang in New York City, but I'm not sure she's there anymore. To my knowledge, none of her tattoos were talked about in the video. If I'm wrong about that, please leave me a comment down below. But I couldn't find any that seemed to be hers. But she does do these very delicate tattoos, so I can see why she felt the need to comment on this. So here's what she said. This might not be the highest quality screenshot. I actually wasn't able to find this anywhere online, but the YouTuber Createful Tats made a reaction video to John Mesa's original video where she did a good screenshot. So that's where I'm getting the screenshot from. I will also link her video down below. So let's go over Joyce's statement. She said, "Fuck it, I'm just going to address the whack-ass video Ink Mag and John Mesa came out with. Number one, it's incredibly damaging to post videos where people are reacting to tattoos and provoke to find fault. This video should never have been made at all. If it were approached as an educational video based on fact about the ways ink disperses over time, that's one thing. But to target artists who work in a different style because they work in a different country with different tattoo culture through the lens of an American traditional tattooing rules is not only ignorant, but hurtful. Tattooing did not originate in America. American tattooers have no right to dictate the rules by which everyone approaches the medium. I want to stop and talk about that point because I think it's really important, and somehow it's a point that's like lost on a lot of people who are talking about this.
Listen to your skin. Joe B-Boy, we all have skin in the game.
The majority of micro-tattooing is going on in Asian countries. And I think that you have to take that into consideration when you're talking about micro-tattooing. While micro-tattooing didn't originate in Asia, it is really popular in Asia with Asian artists. And actually in my last video where I talked about fine line tattoos, some of you guys pointed out that it wasn't Mark Mahoney that originated the style, and actually prisoners who were incarcerated originated fine line tattooing while in prison. So thanks for pointing that out. We can all learn together. But the point is that micro-tattooing is hugely popular overseas in Asia. Tattooing is just not as accepted culturally overseas in Asia. And that's why these small, tiny little tattoos are so popular there. They're easier to hide, but they're also incredibly beautiful. And to completely discount that fact, I think, like Joyce said, is pretty ignorant, and it is hurtful to these artists, especially since we have evidence of them tattooing. I know some of John's comments were that a lot of these tattoos don't even seem real to him, and just because he can't do them doesn't mean that someone else can do them. I think to just say that it's all magic, it's all show, it's fake, it's photography, it's Photoshop, is also really ignorant, and it's just not the case, just because he's not skilled like they are. Joyce goes on saying this video perpetuates the notion that there's a finite amount of clients and a finite amount of money to be made in the tattoo industry. Guess what, John? You can hate on my work, but let's be clear about one thing. My clients don't go to you. We don't have clients in common. I'm not your competition. No one is cheating you or other traditional artists out of clientele. There's just more options out there for people now. I also think this is a really good point because as tattooing evolves, more people are going to find styles that they like. And like she said, the same people going to a fine line or a micro tattoo artist is likely not going to get traditionally tattooed. I personally like traditional tattoos. That's just what I have and what I like. But I don't see a problem with micro tattoos, fine line tattoos, single needle tattoos going on and people enjoying those tattoos. And while his concerns about the fading of inks and lower contrasts are valid, I think completely disregarding this newer style and completely disregarding all of the advancements in tattooing is missing the mark. Especially since John ends this Inks magazine video and he specifically says, "I'm not here to bash or trash anyone." That's a direct quote from him. I think that that is wrong. I think he completely bashed, completely trashed so many tattoos in this video, and I think he did it without a lot of basis and without a lot of education on this style. I think it's important to learn from traditional artists. They have a lot of good things that they do, and they do those things because it's been tried and tested. There's no one that's disagreeing with that. I just think John went about this video in completely the wrong way. I feel like he tried to save himself with that ending comment, but for me it didn't really do much.
This is a bird. And this is an aquarium. You know what this is? Almost like people.
Hey everyone, welcome back.
Yes,
Today
fuck
we
you,
are
bitch.
discussing the elephant in the room.
Oh my god, I thought I was dead.
Nose piercing. I don't know if any of you have noticed anything. It seems a little